You are indeed very, very welcome. And our very first piece was composed in 1902 by Edwin Eugene Bagley. And while traveling with his band on a train journey, he started scribbling down some thoughts on paper, but he became very, very frustrated with his efforts. So he balled the paper up and he threw it away. But unknowns to him, one of the band members retrieved it. They rehearsed the piece in secret, and at their very next concert, they played it for him, and he was completely bowled over. It subsequently became one of the most famous pieces in the concert repertoire. However, it didn't make Bagley a fortune because he sold the copyright for it for $25, would you believe? Ladies and gentlemen, this is the National Emblem March. fantastic, yes. The Barrack Street Band, conducted by Brian Prendergast, ladies and gentlemen. So many images, lovely montage of the various movies going on. How many of them did you spot? Did you spot them all? Do you get the memories? Love Story. Yeah, did he take it there? Yeah? Love means never have to say you're sorry. I know. Or Mama Says, yeah, from Forrest Gump. Little bit of laughs like a box of chocolates. Halfway through that, I felt like floating home. But, you know. Anyway, great to see the work of Steven Spielberg. And even when you're watching the images of Jaws and the woman swimming there, but when you hear the big band sound right in front of you, it hits you right there, does it not? Tremendous. Thank you, lads. That was just absolutely beautiful. Now, you may have noticed there's a few little changes happening on stage while I'm talking here. The second last piece, by the way, was from the movie Forrest Gump. You know, there's a scene in that film where the very opening shot is of a feather floating down from the skies, and it brings us right down to a park bench. And that's an actual park, that's in Savannah, in Georgia. And of course, Tom Hanks won the Oscar for that. It was filmed in a place called Chippewa Square in Savannah, Georgia. And believe it or not, the Barraca marched through that very square when the Barrack Street Band led the Patrick's Day Parade there in Savannah in 2011. Well done. Now, it's time to meet our first vocalist, our guest vocalist this evening. You know her so well. She's a great friend of the annual Community Heritage Concert. She's a great friend of mine. Linda Kenny, ladies and gentlemen. And Linda is going to sing for us a tune that was written by the Mexican composer Agustin Lara in 1932. And this is the wonderful Granada. Linda Kenny, ladies and gentlemen. And that was Granada. And we want to thank the ensemble there. Brian Prendergast was on guitar, of course. Pat Barrett was on bass. Oliver C. Keane on the organ. And my old mate Jimmy Hines on the drums, ladies and gentlemen. Now we have other guest vocalist for you to meet. It's a well-known tune from the great days of Tin Pan Alley. You're going to enjoy it, you're going to love it, and you're going to love him. Would you please welcome Conor, the Lounge Man, O'Shea!
Blue moon, you saw me standing alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. Blue moon, you knew just what I was there for. You heard me saying a prayer for someone I really could care for. Then suddenly appeared before me, the only one my arms would ever hold. I heard somebody whisper, please adore me. But when I looked, that moon had turned to gold. Blue moon, now I'm no longer alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. Here we go. And suddenly appeared before me, the only one my arms would ever hold. I heard somebody whisper, please adore me. But when I looked, that moon had turned to gold. Blue moon, now I'm no longer alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. Without a love of my own, without a love of my own. Blue moon.
Yeah, Conor, the Lounge Man O'Shea, ladies and gentlemen. And the big band sound of the Barrack Street Band under their direction of Brian Prendergast. It was written by Richard Rodgers and Lawrence Hart, and it's one of those songs that seems to suit the style of whoever tends to sing it, and Conor brought that one home wonderful. There were great versions by people like Elvis Presley, would you believe, Frank Sinatra, Mel Torme, Billie Holiday, and the Mavericks, who did their version. And we were watching the movie segment a little bit earlier. Apollo 13 came up, and it was used in that particular film. And of course, it is, for those of you of a soccer bent, the anthem of both Manchester City and Crewe Alexandra in the English leagues. And by the way, may I just say again, I think it's wonderful to see so many of the Barrack Street Youth Band here tonight. They're joining in with the senior band on stage. And if I may, Brian, could we ask them to stand so that we can identify them? There are also not so youth members in the Barrack Street Band as well, but we won't talk about the lads in the corner. However, it's time to party on, dudes. Let's go to the Copacabana. Yeah, the Copacabana. I'm going to welcome Linda Kenny back on stage with a nostalgic selection. And if you're not going to play your little triangle, you can join in the lyrics because you know the tunes. It's like the good old days in Woolworths. It's time to delve into that Americana pick and mix. Enjoy!
Saving nickels and saving dimes. Saving nickels, saving dimes. Working till the sun don't shine. Looking forward to happier times. Oh, goodbye, you. Sing with me. I'm going back someday. From one day to Blue Bayou. Where the thoughts are fine and the world is mine. Oh, boy of mine by my side, the silver moon and the evening tide. A still day, I'm gonna take away this feeling inside. Will I never be blue? My blues came true on Guys, you're doing really, really well. Great sound up here. Can I just say that the guys behind me here are like amazing. We only came together on Wednesday for a little tiny rehearsal and again today, and they've done an amazing job. Oliver Keane over here on the piano. And Jamie Hines on the drums. Jimmy is in all our concerts, so a little soft spot for Jimmy. And of course, the multi-talented Mr. Brian Prendergast on guitar. And Mr. Pat Barrett here on bass guitar. Now you know this one, ladies and gentlemen, and if you feel like swing, because it's that kind of song, there's a little bit of waltz going on. I was waltzing with my darling to the Tennessee waltz when an old friend I happened to see. I introduced her to my darling, and while they were dancing, my friend stole my sweetheart from me. So, ladies and gentlemen, a great woman from the 1950s. And I know you know all her songs, so please join in. Stupid Cupid, you're a real mean guy. I need to clip your wig so you can fly. I'm in love with the crying shame, and I know that you're the one to blame. Hey, hey, set me free, come on. Stupid Cupid, stop picking on me. I can't do my homework and I can't think straight. I read him every morning about 8:30. I'm acting like an upstate mole. He's even got me carrying his books, just go on. Hey, hey, set me free, come on. Stupid Cupid, stop picking on me. You fix me up for good, right from the very start. Don't play
gentlemen. And a big thank you to Brian, Pat, Oliver, and Jimmy as well. The purpose of the annual Lord Mayor's Heritage Concert is to celebrate the contribution that many have made down through the years to the cultural life of our city and our county. And this year, the award is extra special in that it acknowledges the wonderful work done over a 25-year period, not only in music, but in the social life of our city by this year's recipients. It isn't often that you can say that one's work has changed lives for the better, but in this case, it is a truism. Ladies and gentlemen, we congratulate and we salute this year's winner, the Cork Academy of Music.
My name is Rosa. I'm in the Academy since September. I'm very happy here. If anybody interested in music in any shape or form, or I suppose connecting with people that do music, it's a good place to be.
On the north side of Cork City, there is a very special place. It is not just for the young, not only for older people, it is for everyone. It is the Cork Academy of Music. The Cork Academy of Music was founded in 1994 by Bob Seward to fulfill a social need in the north side of Cork City, using music as a tool for social inclusion.
There was a need for people who were unemployed, people who wanted to learn music for one thing, they couldn't afford it. It's expensive to go to schools of music and very expensive for private tuition. So I tried to set up something here that would give people an opportunity of learning music. The studies showed that there was potential for employment for people if you train them properly. So when I set it up, we set out with the aim of giving people an education with qualification, with certification, and we've done that.
The value of having the academy in this particular area is priceless. There are a lot of teenagers, there are a lot of young adults that have a liking in music and that just need to be pointed in the right direction. So that's why I think it's so important to have such an establishment like this. The opportunities are here, you know.
When I started level 4, I didn't sing until halfway through, so I wouldn't sing for anybody, not my family, not my mother. Nobody ever heard me sing, so everyone was just as shocked as I was when I did sing, finally. And I've fallen in love with singing. I'm still a bit anxious when it comes to it, but I've gotten way better, and I just really enjoy performing on stage and performing in ensemble and singing and seeing everyone singing along with me.
Many of the students here, like myself, never envisaged entering third level because we wouldn't have successful leaving certs. A lot of the time, not even successful junior certs were achieved. So the thoughts of entering third level, whether it's university or whether it's Cork School of Music, is probably an impossible dream to some people. And it's very rewarding when you see people slowly gaining qualifications and meeting the criteria to apply for third level and filling out CAO applications and then watching their faces when they're told that they're entering third level. I can remember it myself, and it's the best feeling in the world, to be honest.
I started in the academy in December 2014. At the time I had been unemployed for about a year and a half, I would say, and I was lucky enough to find the academy, and really ever since then I became really inspired to learn music. I think it was just the environment, the staff, the encouraging atmosphere. It really helped me, and about 6 months in I just decided that I was going to apply for college. I was lucky enough to get in. I'm currently in third year in UCC, and I'm also teaching with Music Generation part-time, and I think really that it was the academy that helped me get to where I am now.
Well, we got involved in the what's known as the Music Generation Programme, and that was established about 6 years ago with funding from Band U2 and the American Ireland Fund. And the funding came through to provide tuition, tutors, paid tutors, and to purchase instruments. So we got involved at the start. We're the catalyst. So we have about 18 teachers all throughout the city. We have 450 students in training that you saw some this morning they're performing. And it's wonderful.
The Academy caters for people whether they are younger or older and has an inclusive and friendly welcome for all. This year, the Lord Mayor's Community Heritage Award was presented to the Cork Academy of Music, who are celebrating their 25th anniversary.
The city to congratulate you for all the work you have done, and I can honestly say this, you have transformed some people's lives.
The award is presented annually to organisations, groups or individuals in recognition of the immense contribution they've made to the musical and cultural life of Cork.
I think there's a great warmth in the school. There's a warmth from the teachers. There's a lot of heart in the place. There's a happy atmosphere here which goes down onto the students. People like it. I have to hunt people out here in the evening at 5 o'clock. They don't want to go.
The Cork Academy of Music is there for all who dream of new beginnings, to study and learn musicianship, pushing boundaries, and enjoying the lifelong skill of music.
The Cork Academy of Music, 25 years of growing, and a big thank you to Paul O'Flynn, who edited and produced that particular piece. Wonderful and well done to the Academy. And of course to Bob Seward, the 25th recipient, no less, of the Cork Person of the Year Award for 2017. Well done, Bob. Now, what better way to celebrate the success of the Academy than with music? And we welcome back alumni of the Cork Academy of Music from 25 years ago, from the class of 94. We have Pat Barrett on bass, we have Michael O'Hagan on drums, we have Colin Byrne, who's with us, and Ian Rossiter on vocals. And back in the day, they did a 1-year course at the Cork Academy in association with Foss. Remember Foss? They then went on to study at the Leeds College of Music on a 4-year music degree course. And after that, the music world beckoned. From the original 26 students, 7 went on to study in Leeds. So put your hands together for our special guests from the class of 94, something that they can shout about to music impresarios of the world everywhere. I'm signed, I'm sealed, I am delivered. I'm yours.
Yeah, thanks, Al. Yes, 25 years, now let's see if we learned anything. And if we still got it, but a little older, a little bit more bolder, a little bit more round in the middle. But let's see what we've got, lads. You ready? Colin? Wake up, Colin. Yeah, I'm over here. Okay, let's do this. Ready, boys? 1, 2, 3, 4. I went and stayed too long. Now I'm wondering if my love's so strong. So I see the living, I'm yours. Then that time I went and said goodbye. Now I'm even not afraid to cry. Oh, baby, here I am. So I see the living, I'm yours.
The class of 94. Well done, lads. Pat successfully completed his Bachelor of Arts Honours degree in Jazz Studies. He's since been teaching at the Cork Academy of Music, as well as pursuing a successful career in performing. Michael successfully achieved his Bachelor of Arts Honours degree in Jazz Studies, much demand as a musician. Colin also successfully completed his Bachelor of Arts Honours degree in Jazz, along with a Master's in Composition, and works professionally as a composer, an arranger, a band leader, a drummer, still living in the Leeds area, teaching and performing. And by the way, he brought out a CD in 2005 called Big Bad Band Burn. And Ian, our vocalist, has since finished at the Academy in '95, pursued a successful solo career in the music industry. Rock and roll or what? Give him a big round of applause. Now, we come to the end of the first part of the show, and we come with a very special tribute to a dear departed friend, Declan Ryan, ladies and gentlemen. Remembering Declan. Before last year's show, I was chatting with Declan about how he was and about his illness, and the prognosis was bad. But I tell you, the spirit was amazing. He says, I'm going to use the time I have left, he said to me, and I'm going to enjoy every moment, and I'll keep on singing and performing as long as I can. And he was here this night last year, and he belted out those wonderful tunes that had made him so popular. And much to Declan's surprise, his lovely wife Pam and his granddaughter Pam, now he thought that she was in Boston, and she had phoned him earlier in the day saying, yeah, I'm in Boston. And of course she walked out on the stage with him last night. And it was a wonderful, wonderful moment, a very special moment in the history of these series of concerts. And they danced with him as he sang. And it was such a beautiful thing to see. And I just want to acknowledge that Pam is with us tonight. Granddaughter Pam is here, grandson Will, daughter Jackie, and their good friend May. Thank you for joining us, and please put your hands together for them. For those of you who may not know, the Regal show band from Bantry boasted some great names in their lineup over the years. There was Jack Briley, there was Benna Houseman, Chris St. Ledger, Len McCarthy, Jim Cotter, and of course, a very fresh face and handsome heartthrob called Declan Ryan. Now, Declan had left his job in the CIE sorting office to go into showbiz, and at 17, he said he was earning twice as much as his dad back in that day. In 1965, Declan and the Regal recorded a song made famous by Ricky Nelson. It was called I Need You. It got to number 6 in the charts. But despite its success, Declan left the band shortly afterwards, and he formed a new band with some of the members of the Regal. And they were going to be called Declan and the Regal Men, but they eventually settled on the title The Arrivals. They were a popular outfit. They played all over the country, but boosted by the presence of the handsome lead singer, they packed venues everywhere and were regulars in places like the Red Barn and down to Majorca. They even went to the United States and played in New York, in Chicago, and on to Toronto. So Declan would return to the Regal a couple of years later, and happily he kept singing, he kept performing down through the years. So we invite you to join us in remembering our very dear friend and one of Cork's great performers as we sing his greatest hit, I Need You. And we're joined on stage by the entire company. As you can see, the Voices of Cork Choir have joined us. We welcome back Connor and Linda and our good friend Art Supple. But as they used to say in the old days, but this time chiefly yourselves, with a special arrangement by Brian Prendergast. This is I Need You.
You should ever think of leaving me, don't let it go too far. A love of a lifetime, darling, that's what you are. And now We stand at heaven's door, together forever. I'll be yours evermore. Now that I've found you, I'll be counting on you to love me forever. 'Cause I need you, honest I do. 'Cause I need you, honest I do.
Ladies and gentlemen, remembering our very dear friend, the late, great Declan Ryan, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you all in part 2. Thank you.